Senator McDougall.
Curly, I just want to, like Senator Byrne, identify myself completely with the remarks made by Senator Mullen about higher education. I was at the speech that he referred to, and it's an alarming situation. The topic that I want to raise today is one which will be of interest to the Deputy Leader, and that's the question of the Defence Forces, and in particular to congratulate the Ranger wing of the Army and the Air Corps for their operation off Cork's coast yesterday in bringing what appears to be a huge consignment of drugs under arrest and into Cork Harbour. But as those the boats came into Cork Harbour, they passed by the naval station at Hall Bolan, and I just want to say something to you about that. We have 8 naval ships. Only 2 of them are operational. We have now 750 active members of the Naval Service, and at the time that the Defence Force Commission made its report, that stood at 867. You and I are former reservists. We know that the reserve aspect of the Defence Force has collapsed. Manning ships has become almost impossible. Ireland is an open goal for those who want to violate our territorial waters due to the failure of this government to take the Defence Forces seriously. And I just want to say that in relation to the Defence Forces, it is the duty of the government to uphold them. They are a constitutional force. They can't be the also-rans in every budgetary debate. If we're serious about our neutrality, if we're serious about any of the issues that fill our newspapers, we must take our Defence Forces seriously. The time has come for action, not words. You can send a ship to the Mediterranean to pick up asylum seekers, but you can't defend our own coastal waters adequately. That's a disgrace.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Cathaoirleach, and to all members that raised issues this morning. Senator O'Loughlin spoke this morning about the Defence Forces, as did Senator McDougall and others as well, and commended the bravery and the exceptional professionalism and skill that was displayed off the coast of Cork yesterday. And what may have looked from the footage as being an easy operation, it was far from it. In treacherous conditions, they managed to land on the ship and get hold of that large consignment of drugs, which was, somebody referred to on the radio this morning, would have brought years of misery for the amount of drugs on board, and that's an important point. So to commend them for their work, I believe they mobilised within hours and were on site and had the task completed within less than 2 hours. So a phenomenal operation that was assisted by the Air Corps, the Naval Service, Revenue were involved as well, and Defence Forces overall. It was a day to be proud, and the first time that the Army Ranger Wing were deployed in this jurisdiction, in our own jurisdiction. So it was a remarkable day, but it did bring to the fore the ongoing challenges in the Defence Forces, and as Senator McDougall has highlighted, and others have as well, the inability to man the 8 naval ships that we do have, that only 2 can be manned, is a problem for us. And are we the weak link in terms of getting drugs into Europe from South America? Potentially, yes. I think our maritime waters are 5 times larger than our land territory. So we have a lot of waters to police and to secure. And it's important that as a state we do that, because it's protecting our citizens and state assets, and also playing our role as a member state as well. So it does bring to the fore ongoing challenges, which I know the Tánaiste is very much focused on addressing.
Before I call on the leader, could I just join with members who this morning articulated their thanks and our genuine appreciation to the bravery of the men and women of our Defence Forces, our Navy and our Gardaí and our Air Corps for the wonderful work they did over the last 24 hours in what has been now categorised as the largest drug seizure in the history of the state. And Leader, you being a member of the Defence Forces at one stage, just to thank all of the people involved, and just shows you the collaboration that can take place, and what was a very treacherous time for weather-wise for members. So just to, on our own behalf, to thank the members of the Defence Forces and on Garda Síochána. On Canada.
Thank you very much, Cathaoirleach, and to all members that raised issues this morning. Senator O'Loughlin spoke this morning about the Defence Forces, as did Senator McDougall and others as well, and commended the bravery and the exceptional professionalism and skill that was displayed off the coast of Cork yesterday. And what may have looked from the footage as being an easy operation, it was far from it. In treacherous conditions,